Honestly, I thought you might be from Italy or something. I feel like the way you talk almost feels like you have an accent sometimes, and maybe it's. I think maybe it's the name. Your name. Yeah. I would say it's GianCarlo.
The fingers come out the womb like this first.
Yeah. I have Juan Carlo on the podcast. He's from Italy.
Italian boy.
That's good.
Welcome back to another episode of Central Valley Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Dialey, a filmmaker, photographer, and a dude passionate about his community. This podcast focuses on the talented individuals that make up the Central Valley of California, as well as people who are passionate about what they do. The Central Valley has gotten a bad rep, and we're here to change that. If you enjoy what we're doing, we kindly ask that you download each episode, subscribe to our YouTube, and leave a rating and review on whatever podcast app you're using. And once again, thanks for tuning into another episode of Central Valley Podcast.
Shout out Duffy, shout out Micah.
This is it. Central Valley Podcast.
Hey, big shout out Central Valley Podcast.
You know I had to fuck with it. Hey, shout out Central Valley Podcast.
We are back, and we are joined by two individuals from Bella Luna. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves for people who may not know who you are?
I'm Billy Pedroso, and I'm the bar manager.
Yeah. I'm GianCarlo, and I'm owner and operator Bella Luna.
Basically, Bella Luna is my favorite restaurant, Merced. You guys, this is like, you guys are sponsors of the podcast, but also like, I love that environment that you guys like create, the ambiance, the whole vibe of it. So I wanted to have you guys on because I really fuck with it. And I think it's one of Duffy's favorites as well.
It is.
Yes.
Awesome.
And
Appreciate it.
Like, let's talk about your guys' history with the restaurant. And it's been through like a whole bunch of different, for people who live in Merced, they've remembered it as D'Angelo's and then everything else in between. So kind of talk about the history of it and how long you guys have been there involved with it.
For sure. I mean, I've been here the past 3 years. You know, me and my wife took over in 2021, but history is your piece.
I mean, I started working in 2008 when it was D'Angelo's, or 2007 as a dishwasher. We were really successful. It was, really one of the only like white tablecloth dining area, like dining back then. Then we had a fire. We moved to Childs Avenue where the Eagle's Nest used to be.
Crazy looking building.
Yeah. Then he rebuilt D'Angelo's as Bella Luna Bakery, where they were offering all kinds of desserts, multiple types of bread, different cakes. And I want to say like 2012 or 2013, we closed at the Ramada and then kind of blended the idea of Bella Luna and the bar side, the bistro side, which used to be called Bellini's. Which there's so many different names that he used to like call the restaurant, you know. And then we ran with that in 2019 or 18. He built the bar, which totally changed Bella Luna for sure, because it gave it a flow, it gave it a little bit of identity. And then COVID hit, and we just really kind of struggled to just stay afloat, as all restaurant businesses were doing at that time. But
then GianCarlo came in 2021.
He swooped in, like.
He was like, "This is the perfect time to buy a restaurant."
And it was.
The day they took over was the day that the restaurants opened up. Like,
that's crazy.
Like, what
perfect
story, you know?
You know, it was cool.
And then just grab it a little more until you're good. And then you could even scoot that whole thing towards you this way, since you'll be looking this way.
For sure, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I do this every single everybody in here. You're like, oh my god! Don't say it. Don't say it.
Work this arm.
Yeah. And so, GianCarlo, tell me a little about yourself. Where'd you come from? You know what I mean? How'd you end up in Merced? You know, how that's whole story.
No, for sure.
Also, so real quick, what are we drinking here?
Yeah, absolutely. Billy, take it away on the drink.
That is going to be the Gin and Berry Earl. So it's going to be a Earl Grey simple syrup, fresh lime juice, some gin, and a little bit of thyme.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for having us.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, that's smooth.
Ooh,
What's it called
I
again?
like that.
The Gin and Berry Earl.
Gin and Berry Earl.
Yeah.
That's really good.
You kind of see it a lot now where bars are using teas to infuse flavor naturally rather than these sweeteners.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
you
that
see,
makes
like
sense.
These branded.
Because then it just
sweeteners
becomes
that-
real sweet. Like, you know what I mean? It gets a little too...
Yeah, you never know what they're putting in it.
Yeah.
This way, it's a tea.
There's no AMF, huh?
Tastes better than one. Though,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Totally.
So we're back to your story.
Yeah,
Sean
no, I
Carlo.
mean it's great. It's great. While I'm also been in the restaurant business for quite some time, I'm also a restaurant broker. So I sell restaurants. As well.
really?
Yeah. So I work for a real estate company based out of San Francisco that specializes in restaurant sales. So, during COVID, we were also dealing with the effects of COVID. I was working in a restaurant in Palo Alto at the time, and it was a fine dining restaurant. So it was, how do you translate that type of menu during COVID? We did great for a certain period of time, but it wasn't sustainable. So the owners, furloughed me, as they said, right? So I was still doing the real estate, and one of my colleagues.
That was like 2020, 2021
Yeah, I mean,
era?
I've been doing the real estate thing
No,
for
but I
a
meant
couple years.
that when
Yeah,
they
exactly.
did that?
Exactly.
Or,
It was like, I was at this restaurant, and then, March came around 2020. Everybody knows what happened. Everything shut down, and we had to, do the whole, takeout and stuff like that. So, I had been furloughed, and so one of my colleagues had some places for sale. We're always looking at each other's stuff, right? And my dad was like, you want to take a drive, go check out Merced. I was like, all right, cool.
And how far
Why
away is
not?
Palo
Why not?
Alto from?
It's about 2 hours.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Like Bay Area-ish?
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes up the coast from San Francisco.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then we just kind of we came out here and fell in love with the story of Bella Luna. I mean, fell in love with the previous owner. It was like an uncle I never had. And
Yeah.
him and my dad were in like. Vinny is from the East Coast. My dad's from Boston.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
like they just
Fuck you.
It's just it's just like, the East Coast Italians were just bonding.
Yeah. And so you're Italian and everything as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
Italian.
Your
yeah.
heritage and...
Yes, yeah. I mean, I grew up in San Francisco, born and raised. My dad came from Boston. I'm third generation,
Yeah.
but him and Vinny totally
I'm
clicked,
Italian somewhere along my...
Yeah.
My grandpa was full Italian, but then, by the time it gets to me, I'm a quarter, so...
Right. No, right. And I mean, I wish I grew up more with, like grandparents in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
grandparents
The
around speaking.
rigatoni.
Yeah. But, that was all back in Boston where my dad, kind of migrated out to California on his own. I mean, that's kind of how it happened.
And
it was like,
you just fell in love with the place, the story,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
what was he telling you? Like that really made you like? I mean, that's a life-changing move to like. I mean, you're moving up and moving.
I mean,
you know
obviously,
what I mean?
it's an investment.
It's
right?
an investment,
It
yeah.
was
And a risk
seize
at the time, you know what I
opportunity.
mean?
No, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I had I've been really fortunate to work for some really great restaurants. I went to school for restaurant management. This is my passion. I love the restaurant industry.
That's cool.
I love the industry as a whole. The hospitality industry,
Yeah.
hospitality in general just fascinates me. It's like levels of hospitality, right? The feeling you get when you step into different restaurants, the feeling you get when the emotion you feel when you eat something like really delicious, right? And so, I just fell in love with the industry.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
I live and breathe the industry.
I feel like I definitely see that in Bella Luna because like you're like the only every time I'm at Bella Luna, you go up to every table and you're just like, hey, how is it? You know what I mean? How's it going?
For sure.
And like,
Yeah.
but
It's
like
important.
that alone just makes me feel like, oh, like you guys care more than when I'm at somewhere and it's just like,
Yeah, I mean,
you feel cared about, I guess, a little more, and that's
That's
like
awesome.
I just noticed that you care. You
That's
know what I mean
awesome.
through
That's
the
awesome.
experience I have had at Bella Luna.
and that's great, and that's what I want everybody to feel, and not just from me, from everybody that works there, and seeing the faces of the chefs and seeing the faces of the staff and everybody enjoying their job, and that's important, I mean, not taking it too seriously because it's we're feeding people at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and we're giving cocktails and beverages, but it's something special, So I'm happy you feel that. That means a lot.
Yeah,
That means
yeah.
a lot.
And then you took over. You said 2021,
yes,
and then
yeah.
wh-
St. Patrick's Day
Okay.
was the very first day we opened.
Oh, wow.
wow,
Yeah. So I was like, it was on a Wednesday. I'll never forget this week, So it's like Monday rolled around this week, and my colleague calls me up. He says, hey, escrow's closing in 2 days. Pack your bag. I'm in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, I had my dad out here already. We got an apartment. Just
Oh,
like we
okay,
had a
got
place,
just in
you know?
case, yeah, place.
Yeah. So He's like, pack your bags. And I was like, okay, well, we're only open for dinner Wednesday. It was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was 4 days right now, only open for dinner just because we were still coming out of COVID. And I was like, I'm just going to close. I can, put in my new point of sale system, get the, all your utility, like when you normally buy a house or go, change apartment buildings.
Oh, I just had to do that. Like I literally this week I was rushing around because our power went out because we didn't transfer it. We just moved and we didn't transfer it into our name yet. And then the lady we haven't even the lady's hella chill, but we hadn't even done a lease yet. But MID needed a lease, blah blah. So within an hour I was doing all this stuff, and then
it's a lot,
honestly. And they're like, if you're not here by 1, it's $200. If you're not here by 3 p.m., it's like $350. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
But you're here at 12, it's free. I'm like, what is the timeline? This is a crazy timeline.
Yeah. So I mean, you have to, no, it's good. I mean, it's just it's a lot going into doing something like that.
Yeah.
You want your family to have internet and
be set up, almost feel comfortable before you
totally. So it's same thing with the business. So I mean, Wednesday morning. So I mean, so Monday, pack your bags. We packed our bags. We're out here Tuesday, right? Wednesday morning we wake up, right, and it was all of those things had to happen. We opened at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm brand new. I'm putting in a brand new system. I'm doing, a bunch of new things that the staff are gonna. I mean, I had a conversation with the colleague. I was like, I'm just gonna close, right? I said I was gonna close. He was like, do you really want to give up 20,000, 25,000 in sales? So I was like, I looked at my wife. I was like, no, what I mean? If it's really that busy, definitely not. You know? It was extremely busy. The first day, it was absolutely busy. It's but we did a great job. Yeah. I mean, it was fantastic. A lot of the stuff I implemented, it was just kind of guys, trust me. Because once you learn these things, it'll be great. You have an easier time. But it was that day was crazy. From the morning, calling all this, making sure that when people pay, it's going into my account and not Vinny's type of thing. Yeah. So I mean, that was the first day. It was St. Patrick's Day, 2021. I definitely won't forget that day. Even that whole week was busy, but it was sometimes like getting thrown in the water.
Fight or flight, sink or swim.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't have changed it any other way.
And then coming from the Bay Area to Merced, what's your perspective on it? Because I feel like a lot of people, it's just different, way different.
For sure. It is a lot different. In good good ways as well. Yeah. Right. It's I love the sense of community. Right. The main difference, just I love to eat and I love to go out and enjoy beverages and I love to experience new restaurants and that's something where we have to we travel a little bit more to go to places that we want to go to, right? But I mean, the past 3 years, a lot of stuff is, a lot of stuff is changing. Yeah. And
well, I feel I always tell people I feel like Merced before 2020 and then after 2020, to me, it's night and day, at least on Main Street. There's so much more going on.
Yeah. For sure.
But prior to that, it was O'Reilly's and what else? Come on, there's O'Reilly's,
J&R Tacos,
Cinema Cafe.
I mean, downtown was never really the same once they closed the Partisan.
That was close.
Dude, the old Partisan, when you'd walk in, you'd go downstairs. It felt, you know what I mean? Or the bars sunken in on the right.
And it was just felt like the roof was right right on top.
You couldn't be 6'5" in that place. Yeah,
like a true dive.
Exactly. True dive bar. Yeah. I always loved and then they always were like, oh, it's reopening, and I was like, it's they've been closed for 10 years. How are they reopening? And then they did, and I was like, this is crazy.
I mean, so it looks great. I mean,
it's awesome now. Yeah.
And that's the thing about the sense of industry community down the street. We got to be together. With all the stuff that we're doing and supporting each other. Yeah. I mean, you go travel or you go to check out a new city, and you tend to stop at places that have an abundance of nice little spots to hit.
Yeah, exactly.
And same thing with the thrift store action that we have here and stuff like that. It's
there's great thrift stores.
If you're just popping by, it's a great little, it's fantastic. Great downtown. And you just
every time I'm visiting in random other towns, it's I always end up in an antique store somehow, and I don't buy antiques, you know what I mean? But I'm just walking around.
Just come with age. It's one of my hobbies now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, that's how funny. Dude. Yeah, and then so you guys have been doing, and then so I guess I want to ask you, why do you guys think the Central Valley gets such a bad rep? You know what I mean? I feel like everywhere you hear it a lot. You know what I mean? And I feel
honestly, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm not getting trapped in this question,
Gotcha, journalism.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's. I mean, I honestly don't know why. me and my wife honestly hate when we hear the term like murded.
Yeah.
And like, like people from here, like we hear talking negatively about it. It's like, it's not that, like, why? I don't know why.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I don't know
it
why.
just
It's like,
even from like, I'm just like your perspective, because you're from an outsider. So you weren't born and raised here. With some people, I feel
right.
I always tell people it's like anywhere you live, like born and raised, like you might just not like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like when you're growing up as a kid, like you want to get away, you want to get out, and I feel like that's anywhere almost. You know,
I feel the opposite. I want to go, some with San Francisco, it's
oh
like,
yeah, but
it's like rooted,
I guess. Well, I guess, but I learned to love the area, you know what I mean? But I guess like growing up though, like there wasn't that much to do, and I do get it, but now I'm just like, there's so much to do. You just gotta look for it.
That's
Create it yourself, right?
Yeah, that's how this podcast got born. Yeah. We were like, wouldn't it be cool if someone did that? And then we were like, I guess we could try. Yeah. And then like really got out of hand here.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I get it when like you're a kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
Like not as many, I don't know, like things to do, I guess. I don't know, that's what one of our chefs talks about with his kid. He's, just like, want him to have more fun things to do. Like, I mean, the second pool just opened up for the public, which is cool, over here. So now there's 2 public pools. You can go do rec swim on Friday and Saturday.
Dude, I grew up on
that's awesome,
I think there's 23rd or 21st Street pool.
23rd Street pool.
23rd Street pool. I grew up there, dude. My family would have like a membership thingy, and like we'd always go there. Crazy ass diving boards. Always feel like I'm like,
did.
Yeah. Do they still have them?
It's
Yeah. It's because you can't build diving boards anymore, and I think that's kind of bullshit. Like,
really, huh?
Yeah, because it's like insurance thingy, but like all the other ones that are already in the clauses or some shit. But I'm like, actually check that. Maybe I'm just lame. Maybe I'm making that up, Duffy.
It sounds right.
Because I just went to my aunt's house, and I hadn't been there since I was a child, and she still had her diving board, and it had like 25 years of bounce on it, so it was really launching us. And my 4-year-old uncle is like, he had just like cracked his skull open. He's like, check this out, and he just fucking did a backflip, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yikes. Yeah. Oh, he's really gonna Google this, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no, it's not illegal in California.
I guess
It's probably. I bet you it makes your insurance go up a stupid amount.
Huh.
I know a lot of people will just have like rocks, or like a cement thingy that's just built up now instead of it. And I'm like, that's not the same.
Or if there's a spring, maybe they won't put the spring in.
Yeah, something that makes it, Because then some diving boards as a kid were like, there's no bounce. You know what I mean? It's a plank, or not even a plank. I don't know.
Yeah. Huh.
They don't make them like they used to.
We're just being lied to, so our parents wouldn't build one.
Yeah, it's illegal.
They didn't want to pay the insurance premium.
It's like the classic one where it's like your kids are in the back seat, and then like they turn on the light, and you're like, turn it off. Right. It's illegal.
We get pulled over.
No, exactly. And then you're born and raised in the area?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How about you? What do you think of that? Like, I almost think it's like people just get so used to saying it that they think it becomes true or something.
I mean, I love where I'm from, and like also proud that like a lot of my family, county supervisors, and been involved like in the church and like in the Catholic Church for as long as I can remember. Like my aunt's the principal at OLM, so it's just like I take a lot of pride in where I'm from for sure. But there's just not very much to do. Like I remember being a kid, like being super stoked when we had a skate park. Just like, rollerblading or skateboarding over to the skate park. That was like all we really had to do as kids. Yeah. Like, even look at the roller rink now. Like when we were kids, it was popping. You go, it's the same.
I know. It's like literally the same games in the same like.
I can't believe it's still there.
Honestly, I forgot it's there. We should go to the roller rink. I feel like that'd be kind of fun.
First holiday party, we took our staff there.
Oh, really? That's pretty good.
We rented it out, and we took our staff. I had a blast.
Yeah. Honestly, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It really is.
Any injuries or no?
Any workers comp. It's a work party.
I had to
sign this.
I just I will not get back at you if I get hurt.
I was sad. I went to the Nickel Arcade with my nephew, and then like they stopped like handing out tickets. It's all just on a card now. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh man, I feel like part of like the cool thing about arcades is like. You're getting like it's basically lottery, you know what I mean? But like you're winning tickets for doing stuff, and now it's just on a card. I was like, and I left. I didn't realize it with my nephew.
Collecting the cards.
But I left without even like getting my nephew anything. And like kids do that thing where they don't say anything, and then like as soon as we see their mom, they're like, he didn't even let me get anything. I'm like, you didn't even bring it up. I didn't know this was like. I thought we were just going to play games, dude. Like,
it's funny.
My bad. That's funny. Oh, real quick, random question for you guys, since you guys are like in the restaurant business. When you guys open up hot sauces, personally, you do it at your house. Like, do you guys put them in the refrigerator, or are you a cupboard person? You know how a lot of people put them in the cupboard as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. Interesting. I put mine in the fridge.
I put mine in the fridge.
Fridge.
Yeah.
Are you cupboard or fridge?
I feel like you're a covered guy.
Yeah, I feel like you're a cupboard guy.
Your silence is deafening.
Dang it.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever, dude. Just kidding. No, I don't know. I don't know which one's right, but I feel like if I asked like the poll on Instagram, it'd be like a 50-50 thing where people are like,
Yeah.
and then some people have, it's like, you know how like people with politics have like super strong opinions on one side or the other times. People randomly come out with that. I'm like, no, you were an idiot if you put it in the cupboard. And someone else is like, actually, if you read it, blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
Yeah, it's like the mustard and ketchup thing too.
Yeah,
That was our next
exactly.
question.
Yeah. What's up, shit?
Man, see, as a kid, I would have chose ketchup, but I'm a mustard person. I think the older you get,
Yeah,
so low-cal.
a low cal.
I would agree. You know, the older I just have come to appreciate mustard as I get older too.
Yeah. And then when you took over Bella Luna, did you like? Obviously, you have ideas to bring in new dishes and everything like that.
Yeah, totally.
But with starting the day before moving, I'm sure you didn't change. Did you change the menu before you got there? Right?
No.
You just took it over as is.
No, we rebranded it.
Okay,
so like
gotcha.
I came really prepared. Like I had a menu already made with a different look and a different feel, and it was already printed. You know, it was
And it was a little bit
rebranded.
less at the time. Get ready to unlock the door to your dream home today with real estate agent Marcus Rodriguez. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in this competitive market and you're not too sure where to start, look no further than Merced's preferred realtor, Marcus Rodriguez. He'll make sure the process goes as easy and smooth as possible, and you can reach out to him at 209-875-8212. Once again, that's 209-875-8212, or visit his website, www.myagentmarcus.com. Declutter with ease and reclaim your space. Introducing Be Junk Free Merced, where Scott Livesay is your go-to guru for hassle-free junk removal. Tired of tripping over unwanted items or feeling overwhelmed by clutter? Well, hey, Scott's got your back. Unlike other services that leave you with all the heavy lifting, Scott swoops in to handle everything himself. Say goodbye to clutter and hello to a refreshed space. Reach out to Scott today for a quote, and let's make your junk disappear in a snap. You can reach out to him at 209-233-1519. Once again, that's 209-233-1519. Enter the world of precision engineering and unmatched service at Connor Manufacturing, a trusted and family-owned machine shop that has been proudly serving the Central Valley with top-tier craftsmanship. Specializing in intricate parts, utilizing the latest manufacturing processes, they take pride in delivering excellence with each project. For all inquiries, visit their website at www.connormfg.com. And make sure to follow them on Instagram at Connor_MFG. Once again, that's at Connor_MFG. Are you ready to elevate your nights out? Well, step into Joystiq, your ultimate destination for arcade excitement, delicious bites, and refreshing drinks that keep the good times rolling. Treat your taste buds to the mouthwatering delights from the kitchen, featuring juicy burgers, crispy fries, wings, and more. Here at Joystiq, there's over 20 big screens, so you can catch all the action from your favorite sports teams. Plus, groove to live music, DJ spinning the hottest tracks, and rent out a karaoke room as well. Visit them today at 325 West Main Street in Merced. Once again, visit them today at 325 West Main Street in Merced.
It was a lot less at the time,
Yeah.
which was great when I took over.
Yeah, because you're just
before
starting,
the menu was huge. There was a lot more offerings. And I personally like being able to manage a smaller menu because you can make a lot more in-house with the smaller menu, and then also it's just like better quality. You know, like you have this massive menu, and maybe items on that menu don't get ordered so often, but you have to keep all the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so how can you really, it's like, so having a small menu can really focus on, having consistency in what people are ordering throughout the entire menu, and then manage better the product and making all those products in house. So like we're not making sauce and the sauce is going to waste. We're using it. So I mean. But first day, no, it was just like rebranded. I rebranded. The moon logo is mine, and the look of the menu is mine, and we we put a lot of thought into the logo and the meaning of the logo, and made Bella Luna a persona.
Pull it up, and then talk about your your logo once he has it up.
Yeah. Shout out Fernando. That's my graphic designer buddy of mine. We went to college together. He helped us out. We collaborated with him.
So that one right there on the left.
Yeah.
Go up, Duffy. Right there in the left corner.
There she is right there.
I think if you click on it, it might go bigger. No.
Nah.
But yeah, so what was the idea with your logo design?
No, it was just Bella Luna's. It's there's a story behind the name too. Even though we didn't.
Yeah, but what is
put
it?
the name. When I was a young boy, my father was managing a pizza place, and the owner was struggling. And this was in the Bay Area. And he wanted my dad to help him kind of rebrand it. And so my dad rebranded it Bella Luna.
Oh, really?
And so I remember as a kid, going in with my dad and just like folding pizza boxes, and I made pizzas for myself. So when my dad was like Bella Luna, it's like, this is, it's kind of like a.
And so when you guys came here, it was already named Bella Luna.
It was already
right?
named Bella Luna.
And so, but it almost was like stars aligning, and it meant something to you.
It meant something to my dad, a lot. It meant something to me just because, I love my dad, right? So, it was kind of the name itself we loved, but it was like giving Bella Luna a persona, and we wanted it to be feminine. We wanted it to feel elegant and feminine and
sexy.
For sure. And then that's the vibe you get when you come in the bar with the lighting, right? It feels sexy with the lighting inside, and then the music.
It's like romance.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
the vibe. That's the feel. Is like
for sure. And you want to feel that when you're looking at the branding. So it's like with the moon, it's like and then also too with the moon being a lot with farming, right? And how the moon rotates around, the earth, and how that affects produce, and how water affects produce, and how the moon and gravity all affects water. So it all comes together. Yeah. And so it was like we wanted there are 8 moon cycles, right? So the crescent is one of those cycles, and then each dot represents the moon cycles.
Oh, okay.
With the one that's being like separated from them all being the full moon cycle.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so like she's looking to that moon, that full moon.
Wow.
So it's like
that's a lot of detail right there.
Yeah. So it's like looking towards, full moon. Every time there's a full moon, it's kind of like reset, right? People always, whether it's true or not, people are
Mercury's
crazy.
in retrograde.
Yeah, whether that's crazy, whether that's, I'm sure it's true. I'm sure there's some truth to it, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. I think there is some truth, but then there's just so much more that people take.
Yeah.
I always tell them Gatorade's in retrograde, so I tell my wife.
So that's the thought around the logo and wanting to we come from the old, right? Because we knew we were taking over an institution here. It wasn't like we were just taking over any restaurant, right? I mean, the crab raviolis that we served, I didn't touch that recipe because that was like the thing for Bella Luna, right? So keeping the integrity, right, and remembering where you came from, but then also looking towards like new and fresh. So that was kind of like our idea around the branding and
that's really cool how it connected with like your childhood though, and that's for sure what drew you guys in a little more. I'm sure you know what
100%,
I mean, like
100%.
But and then so your dad lives around here now too, or
my dad lives with me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's and then. Does your love for the restaurant come from your dad, you think? Like restaurant business and hospitality?
Definitely influenced for sure. I got more really influenced when I was working for Michael Mina and we, I helped open the restaurant, that we had at the new Levi Stadium when the Niners moved over. That's where I met my wife and partner. And I mean, she's a big reason why we're successful too. She has a ton of restaurant experience, graphic design experience, being able to bring a different perspective other than myself, and also connection with our staff
and
is
bringing
important,
that feminine aspect.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And
unless it all comes from you, does it come from you? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
I mean, I am in touch with my feminine side, but it's definitely helpful. I mean, with the woman's touch, with like bringing in a lot of like the decor we brought in,
and like
the aesthetics with
it's
the
like with my
menu,
wife, I'm like, just make this look good. You know what I mean? But if I try something long enough, I may be able to get something. But
yeah, I mean, she designs our menus, and she has like a real like keen eye for detail, and that stuff matters.
Yeah, for sure.
That definitely matters.
And I feel like you can really tell, like with like the ambiance and everything else, that like you guys care about like the feel of it. When I feel like I could see that being like the last thing on somebody's mind when there's all this other stuff going on in a restaurant, in hospitality.
Well, I mean, you guys work hard for the money that you make, and if you go out to eat, you should feel value in that money you spent at somewhere. Yeah. So if you're gonna, you worked hard. I mean, if what's your hourly rate times, to get you to $150 for a dinner?
Yeah,
it's like you put all those hours in to enjoy this meal. It should be special. You should walk out of there and say, okay, like that was money well spent.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, the worst
exactly.
thing is when you spend 100, 150, and you walk out like, man, I could have just grabbed at some tacos. Or something,
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so.
And then do you bring in like local like ingredients and dishes to your guys' dishes and stuff, and then blend them with Italian cuisine or whatever?
I mean, yeah, you know, the previous owner had a lot of or a long outstanding relationship with the Marchini farm, so we do a lot of stuff with them. You know, keeping relationships was super important to me. You know, I mean, you guys have been working with the Marchini farm for a while.
Yeah.
They're a big reason why Vinny's successful, and the collaboration that they had. And,
Yeah, the Martinis, Giancarlo's, like Live Oak Farms.
Yeah.
I know the Regina's back in the day.
Yeah. We had Josh Regina, which has got to be somewhere.
Yeah, he's
related to that family.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got to be.
yeah, no, they're great folks. I mean, we get our microgreens from Zesty Urban Farms, who's a local grower. He's at the farmers market. So, you know, we definitely pull stuff from the valley, and I mean, all the produce that the Martinis are growing are Italian. So you know, and then all the produce that we get from the Giancarlo's is it's produce that's going to go into Italian cuisine. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like we're like trying to source in stuff that's not. We're not going to. We have to think about how to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's an abundance out here, and that's something that's new for me coming to. I'm a city boy, so coming out and seeing like the abundance out here and just how close it is and the accessibility is it's cool, you know.
Have you been to Italy?
Yes, once. It was 2 years ago. Me and my wife.
Oh, that's pretty recent though. And how was that experience? And like,
it was I mean, it was fantastic. You know, it was really my first. I mean, I went to like Ensenada and Cabo and stuff like that. But it's like in Europe. You know, it was my first experience. It was fantastic. I mean, obviously, right?
Yeah.
It was fantastic, you know?
yeah. It's like a whole different world when you go. Cause I went to Portugal one time, and he went to for his honeymoon. He was all over Europe pretty much.
It was France, Italy, Barcelona.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I mean, the architecture was something that shocked me.
It was incredible.
And then how old everything is. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like 300 years is like our existence over here. You know what I mean? So freaking over there, it's like, oh yeah, this has been around since like the year 1500. Like what?
Right. Even with like the wine growers, it's like, oh yeah, we've been doing wine for 25 generations. Here.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's like it was really interesting to see that. I think that was interesting. Everybody wants to ask me, the food this, the food that. It's like pretty much the same thing as like in the States. It's like some places are really good, and some places are not good. And it's just that's just how it wasn't like everywhere I ate in Italy was fantastic. It was just like, it's the amount of preservatives that they offer out there is way less than here.
Yeah, right. Isn't the biggest thing with the?
Don't let me get into that fucking shit.
What is that? Go on.
Yeah.
Okay, are you like a pasta snob, like with stuff? You know what I mean? No.
It's just
I meant like, I guess with like, let's say I'm gonna go buy some cheap ingredients and make spaghetti. You know what I mean? What should I look out for on like the noodles? when I'm buying them, is there like something like that's like better that we can get consumer level that's not hand making them?
No, I mean, I'm definitely not a snob in that. I mean, Barilla's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can always, but it's more so like sauces, right? You might as well just make a sauce at home. It's quick. You just use natural ingredients.
I used to make a hella heavy cream sauce.
Well, we use a lot of, heavy cream's used in a lot of, so I use a lot of butter. I mean, so it's just one of those things. But it's just. Going to a good restaurant, also, you want to make sure that the restaurant's, making good food. I mean, like from scratch, and it's not like a lot like serving preservatives. Getting back to Italy, it's like or even like Barcelona, Spain, France. I mean, all these countries, they, I think there's like laws and regulations are a lot more strict with like what they can like the processing of their food.
Well, yeah, I think our FDA is just a little bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to getting into all that, but it's like you eat more, but you like lose weight, you feel healthier.
Yeah.
That was the weird part.
Right.
I feel like I ate so much there, and I came back lighter. And I was like, oh man.
It's just. I mean, there's preservatives everywhere in all our food. So anyway, a lot of drive-thrus out here too compared to.
Drive-thrus everywhere. Yeah. And then, so you were at Bella Luna prior, you know what I mean, to GianCarlo taking over. So, like, since he's taken over, like, what are the changes that you've seen? What have, like, you've grown to, like, love about, like, the restaurant? And it's, like, new era, I guess I would say.
I mean, definitely just the growth.
Can real quick, can I have one of those ones, you guys? Thank you. You good, Duffy? You got one?
I'll take one as well. Thank you.
But just the growth in the restaurant, like when I first started making drinks behind that bar, I would have never thought I would have the bar program to like where it is and just like the variety of types of thing. Like when they came in, they definitely had like a different perspective and like had been around a lot of really good bars in the city. Like there's not very many good bars out here making quality drinks, and so it was just like.
This is so good.
Yeah,
like I don't taste any alcohol in any of these, honestly. Dangerous.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's been great. Like, cause I love the previous owner. Vinny is like an uncle. I mean, he gave me the chance to like learn what I'm good at now.
You like worked your way up too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You started as dishwasher, so like
busser, waiter, and then like the tail end when we were on D'Angelo's is when I started making drinks. But we're talking about like
whiskey coke,
like Mai Tais, early 2000 type drinks. You know what I mean?
AMFs, like we said earlier, dude.
I think that was probably on
the
one
highlight of
it was probably
it's so funny. Like that was on people's menus at one point. Like
it had its time.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it was like so when I was 21. It was like what 10 years ago, basically. So, but that was like peak. Like every time we were going out, it was just like you end the night with the AMF, dude.
5 shots, $9.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. Bang for your buck right there.
Yeah. You won't remember anything after this point.
I mean, I was drinking Carlo Rossi when I was 21 too. You know, jug wine.
Dude, Jaeger. Dude, I was like Jaeger bombs.
Oh yeah, Jaeger bombs.
Yeah. Jaeger bombs. I can't even stand that. Sorry for interrupting your story.
But it's been great. I mean. It's crazy, like two different sides, right? Like he comes from the hospitality side and the management side, the front part of the restaurant, where Vinny was like more of a chef and like a back of the house guy, and so it's very cool to see, like, cause the consistency and everything, like the way we do things now is fucking amazing, and he would be fucking proud of it.
Yeah.
And that was big. We want, you know, it's nice when he comes in and he's proud. You know, it's his baby. He's been there for 25 years, you know? And it was never the idea to come in and be like, you know, this is mine. I'm going to change everything.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, we rehired everybody and you know, super talented. You know, we wouldn't be where, you know, we are without, you know, this guy.
And like you came at a time where like everyone was struggling, you know what I mean? I mean, in 2020, you know what I mean? And so like coming back and people being able to go back to work, to their job when there is a new owner or whatever, I'm sure that was just huge with like them feeling welcomed and appreciated.
Well, and as hard as it is, like, you know how Mercedians are, like to be accepting of like something new like that, like he
instantly shit on it before anything. I mean, that's how Mercedians
like,
are.
He couldn't have done a better job, like with slowly adding things to the menu and like slowly kind of like taking our bar program to the next level. It's pretty fucking crazy.
And like, so how do you like one goes from like taking a bar to the next level? Like, what is your like, let's say there's an average bar, you know what I mean? And so like, what is your like, is it just the experience that you want to give people, or?
I mean, you know, and I'm not like I don't know all the answers either, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely, yeah, right. You definitely learn by the experiences you had and the managers you worked for.
Yeah.
You know, I've had some great mentors. You know, I've also had great friends that were also inspiring, right? You know, we had a good buddy of ours, Adrian. He's a killer, you know, bartender, bar manager. He worked at one of my favorite bars in the San Francisco, Trick Dog. And, you know, he came out here and helped us, you know, hung out with Billy for a day and showed him some of his tips and tricks on how to maneuver, like, the bar to be more efficient, right? And then it was just like us introducing, you know, building, you know, cocktails differently. You know, he was always about fresh fruit, fresh ingredients. He squeezed all of his own juices, which is super important if you're going to make a drink. You know, lime juice and all your citruses. You know, you want to squeeze.
Yeah,
you know, you'll tell the difference in a cocktail, right? But he already had all that. Jesus.
Oh, so in your face.
You know, he didn't sign any waivers.
Hey, if we could delete this podcast, it will never have existed. Who?
That's funny, yeah, right?
GianCarlo?
Yeah.
I never heard the guy. I'm just kidding.
Hey, the restaurant will be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot more time and thought that goes into each one of the cocktails now. And like, besides just my palate, there's multiple palettes on it helping me taste and like kind of guiding me to where I want to be with stuff.
Yeah, we sit down and even like I get the chef involved as well, you know. because she has a great palate, and you know, we sit down and we talk about cocktails just like we do with the food. You know, he's involved with the food as well, and, like tasting the food at our meetings and stuff. And yeah, the thought, you know, the thought that goes into the cocktails is just something that, you know, I introduced to him. You know, it was hey, check out this place and what they do.
Oh, okay,
you know,
yeah.
Or you know, go to this place. You know, and he's been able to go to San Francisco and go to you know, experience, you know, different bars.
Yeah.
Right. Whether they're high-end cocktail bars or dive bars.
Yeah.
Right. You know, sometimes you might find something cool at a dive bar that, you know, maybe it's cool. We want to try it out here.
Yeah.
You know, or you want to try it in your place. You know, it's the collaboration too. I mean, you know, I'll put like ideas in his ear, you know, like the tea situation.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know, like teas are kind of trending, you know, to get natural flavors into your cocktails. And then he runs with it. I mean, he's self-taught, you know, like this guy
Just
was on-
experiment, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
you just
yeah.
like send them an idea. It's like when someone says one thing and then it like makes you think of like all this other, you know what I mean?
You just dive down a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
sure.
And like it all came because one person said one thing. You know what I mean? I love that type of stuff.
No, for
like being creative and stuff. Like
he mentioned shrubs one day, and I like went home and started YouTubing shrubs, and then came in and made like 4 different types of shrubs. It's like a vinegar simple syrup, basically.
Okay,
Use
yeah.
fresh fruit and like, but yeah, it's definitely. It helps to have somebody, you know, kind of spark ideas or send you towards a different direction that might lead you in a whole nother direction.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a coach coaching like a really good basketball player, you know. It's like or somebody's like, you know, it's like putting ideas. I don't know. It's a collaboration though too. You know, I've learned so much from him. You know, I mean, it's a collaboration for sure. You know, he loves the industry as much as I do, so it's like we have that, you know, mutual love for the industry. And when you love and respect like that industry, everything you do, you want to be respectful towards it, you know, not disrespect the restaurant or bar industry. You know, I mean, everybody in the world is in the restaurant, right? You know, like,
Everybody. Yeah.
I don't want to. It's like you know, yes, we're special, but we're really not special. Like, you know, people all over the world are in the trenches, you know, doing this, you know, and just paying homage to all those people. You know, it's an industry thing.
Yeah,
you know? I mean,
yeah.
Being prideful about the industry that you're in. I don't know. I love what I do. So
That's cool.
Who
And
doesn't love bonding over food and drinks? right?
Exactly. Well, and the thing is, it's cool that you love because you're creating a place to do that. And what's kind of sad is that like the new generation, I feel like the younger generations, it's like everyone's like we used to always go out to places. Like everyone would hang out at the mall. Everyone would go somewhere to hang out. You know what I mean? And now it's like there's not those big areas necessarily. I feel like there is, but not really. You know what I mean? But now I feel like the last standing thing is like restaurants and bars. You know what I mean? People still go out to those to like, you know, just conversate and have a good time.
Totally,
you know what I mean?
totally, and be amongst the people. You know, be amongst your people. I love though. Bella Luna's also special in the sense that it's like Cheers, man. I mean, like I'm. That's another reason why I love the restaurant. Is like I get to be part of the history. You know, the 25-year history of this place. You know, and you know, people. You know, shaking hands, going up to tables and walking around, and people just all know each other that go to Bella Luna, and that necessarily wasn't because of me. You know, Vinny had a lot of following.
Yeah,
he was here for so long. People love the guy.
Yeah,
you know, and rightfully so. I just was able to absorb all these folks and then add new folks to the mix and just kind of continue. You know, and
what does Bella Luna mean? I know it's moon, but what does Bella mean? Beautiful moon.
Yeah.
Bella. I didn't know that. I didn't know that meant beautiful.
I don't know Italian.
You know, I don't speak Italian either. So.
Yeah. You're like, I'm always tell people I'm a half Italian, half Portuguese. I'm like, I'm only a quarter of each, but I'm white. Yeah. I'm white after that, so
pretty much.
I'd rather just
sure.
yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. And then so do you like restaurants like, you know how Rainbird used to be, like the 5-course meal and stuff like that?
Real,
You like a big
real
fan of,
fine dining,
like real fine dining, that experience
for sure,
or just at all basically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, there's definitely a time and a place for dining like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's obviously not a
every
weekly.
week.
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
You know, but definitely, I mean, if it's an experience that yeah, it's nice sometimes. You know, it's definitely nice sometimes. You know, you know, not being able to pick your meal sometimes is good. Where you just like you're buying into this 3-course situation, and it's just like my hands are in the you know, my palate is in the chef's hands. You know, it's like, you know, or my appetite or whatever, and it's just fun that way too. You know, there's like multiple types of dining, right? And you know, there's one form of dining where you look at the plate and you don't know, like, what is this? You know, like I don't know. Like I read the ingredients on the menu, but what am I looking at? Like I don't know what I'm gonna.
What is
eat.
squab?
Like, I don't know what I'm gonna eat. You know, you're looking at the dish and you're just like, and then you take bites and you just kind of like, you know,
You let your palate kind of figure it out.
And that's fun, right?
Yeah.
For for a restaurant like us, it's like, you know, chicken parm is you know, you want to look
chicken parm. You want it to be fucking chicken parm. Yeah.
Chicken marsala, you look at the plate, like I know exactly what I'm gonna get.
Yeah, bring up their menu real quick. I love
like
the.
you know, it's like that's something that's important, you know. But also, it's nice to go 3-course meal, 4-course.
Yeah.
Have you eaten that? Did you eat at Rainbow?
I ate at Rainbow. So and then I when Chef 2 was there, it was like they did a collaboration dinner thing. I did a whole video for that. So, like we were trying like all the dishes and stuff, and like it was just. It's like it's so good. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just so much different than
He's
like
awesome too.
The like thought process that goes into it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like they had a truffle guy show up, drove 2 hours from San Francisco to give them truffles. Like
that guy Jose. Yeah.
Yeah. So literally, like the last minute to like, and then they're just putting truffles on top of these noodles. Like at the like, and he got there like 5 minutes before they needed it, before the dish went out.
Oh,
like,
wow.
But it just like I was just like, you got a truffle dealer in here right now? What is going on? Like it's a whole world that I had never been in, and being behind like it was like literally like the Bear type of restaurant. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And so like being behind the scenes is like. I thought, you know, I had worked in a restaurant, in Modesto and stuff for like 3 or 4 years, and like that's all I knew of from restaurants. You know what I mean? It was like kind of what a general restaurant would be like.
Right.
And then like I went to that, and I'm like, oh man, like each of these guys, like they're literally with like tweezers picking out certain flowers to put in a decoration in a certain way for like this specific dessert. You know
and it's
what
beautiful
I mean?
in its right sense. You know, I mean, that's why like when I kind of started my restaurant career with Michael Mina when I was 20.
And who is
22.
Michael Mina?
He's a celebrity chef that's based out of San Francisco.
Look at Michael Mina. Let me see this guy.
Yeah, big wig chef. You know, the company was great. It really like set the foundation for the love of the industry. You know. And that's really where I started to develop my appreciation for different ingredients I've never heard of. Yeah. Right. And then also like seeing the passion in these chefs and how they worked. It inspired me. But I was front of house, like I said. I was serving tables. You know. And then I moved my way up through Michael Mina into management. And then I was one of his managers for this restaurant. And that's just like kicked off my love. You know.
Yeah, you really got to like on a deeper level.
Yeah,
I feel like as soon as I was like in that background, I was like, oh shit, there's so much more than I realized to shit.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
If you had worked there even for like 6 months, you'd be like you'd be more very much appreciative of like
Dude, my favorite part about me filming that is like they had this honey they're supposed to drizzle on every single one of like that yogurt with like all the flowers and stuff like that, and like they're already like 20 minutes behind, and like he's going to like put honey on one of them, and it took like probably like 20 seconds for like one of them, and he was like, fuck the honey, no honey, send this out. But I was just laughing because it was just like out of nowhere, fuck the honey, no.
For sure. Yeah. It's like it's taking too long, Mike.
Yeah. Rise and shine with Inland Roasters, a family-owned and operated coffee roastery located in the heart of the Central Valley. Each cup of Inland Roasters coffee begins with sourcing the finest beans. From there, brothers Brent and Reed take their time cultivating the perfect roast profile, turning the otherwise ordinary daily coffee ritual into an extraordinary experience. Because everyone deserves a better cup of coffee. Feel free to visit them at the Turlock Certified Farmers Market every Saturday, where you can also purchase their coffee in person. Find them online at inlandroasters.com. Once again, inlandroasters.com, and follow them on Instagram at inland_roasters. Once again, that's at inland_roasters. And make sure to use code CVP10 and receive 10% off your first order. Imagine stepping into a warm and inviting atmosphere where every corner exudes elegance, every sip of cocktail delights the senses, and the aroma tells a story of culinary craftsmanship. Welcome to Bella Luna, an enchanting Italian fine dining oasis nestled in the heart of downtown Merced. Whether you're seeking an intimate dinner for two or a vibrant gathering for friends, Bella Luna promises an evening of indulgence and connection with exceptional hospitality that elevates your experience. Get ready to tap into the Central Valley's craft brew scene with Blaker Brewing, located in Atwater and Ceres. Beyond just brewing delicious beers, they're known for hosting epic events that unite the entire community together. From irresistible flavors of their brews to the lively atmosphere, every visit to Blaker Brewing is an adventure. And keep your calendars marked for their upcoming events, including Jacked Up Country Music Festival on 420 with Ben Gallagher, Summer Smash on June 1st for a foodie's dream to come true, the iconic 4th of July celebration with the Valley's best fireworks show, the Deja Brew EDM Festival on August 23rd, and the legendary Blaketoberfest on October 5th. It's time to raise a glass and join them for the fun at Blaker Brewing. Looking to take your ag business to the next level? Well, look no further than M-Mig Construction, the ag commercial construction experts. Based in Atwater, California, M-Mig specializes in tailored solutions for all ag construction needs. Whether they're dairy farmers, ranchers, or agribusiness owners, the team is dedicated to bringing their clients' vision to life. From innovative milking parlors to durable steel buildings, M-Mig has over 18 years of expertise to ensure the project's success. With quality craftsmanship, timely execution, and a deep understanding of the Central Valley's agriculture, they're the trusted partners for growth. Reach out to M-Mig Construction today at 209-724-9488. Once again, that's 209-724-9488, or visit their website, mmigconstruction.com. Have you watched The Bear?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
I haven't seen anything of the new season, but like,
Good.
It's really good.
It's
It's like
good.
one of my favorite
It's my favorite
shows.
show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But the when they sent the cousin guy to like learn about like the etiquette and
Yeah, for
just
sure.
like that, like, but like there is that real type of culture in
100%.
kitchens. You know what I
100%.
mean? That I feel like the general public never gets to see or
No,
even
yeah.
knows exist.
Right.
So it's cool like seeing like that on the TV show of like just by it was just like simple discipline. But it like really changed the whole guy's perspective in the show.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
yeah,
I
totally,
mean?
totally,
Like,
totally. And I mean, you know, like there are definitely it's exaggerated. It's a TV show. It's
Oh,
meant
yeah,
to be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, drama factor. But I mean, it's really like that. You know, it's intense. And once you get to that stage, I mean, they've shot a lot of that in oh my God, the French Laundry.
Oh yeah.
They shot a lot of
Oh,
that. in
really?
French Laundry. And Thomas Keller was a part
Exactly.
of.
He was in it.
Yeah, he was in it. Yeah,
Who is
he was
he?
part of.
He's the
that's
the
who
owner
owns
of
it?
French Laundry.
He is
Right?
one of, if not arguably, the best chef in the United States.
Yeah.
damn.
And like three
Look him up. What does he look like?
I mean,
for me?
Michael Mina's great too. You know.
He's my mentor, and I appreciate everything he did.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I didn't work like directly
Thomas
with
Keller.
Michael Mina, but his company
Yeah.
and all the managers like, you know, take their stuff seriously. But yeah, Thomas Keller. I mean,
Oh, he's
you know,
one of the guys that
he has
he
three-
worked under in the
three
show,
Mich-
though, too?
No,
I mean, they just opened his restaurant.
They in the show, yeah. They
In the
say
show,
that
I'm saying in the show.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. He was the guy that was talking about. I think it was chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like the flavor.
But three Michelin stars. I mean, and
Yeah.
maintain 3 Michelin stars. Like every year, you have to maintain it. You know.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I mean, Dominique Cren's another awesome.
do they
chef.
just
I mean,
walk?
you know,
Do the
bunch of great
tasters
chefs.
walk
Daniel
in?
Mum and-
Do the Michelin people just walk in at any given moment? You know what I mean? Or are they
it's-
prepped?
I mean, there's a lot of politics that goes into it as well, but they just walk in and you never
Yeah.
know. You know,
Yeah,
like
but
one of the things you always hear about, I mean, when you're shooting for a Michelin star is like meticulous stuff. You know, and service sometimes is even more. Well, I mean,
It's the experience
It's like
of it,
what's
yeah.
more important, you know, the service or the food.
Yeah.
You know, because like they'll do shit like leave a fork underneath the chair.
Oh, and see if
and
you
like
pick
just
it
like
up.
in the show, when
Yeah.
they did that,
Yeah,
you know, it's all
yeah.
the fork, and it's like, and then they'll time it and see how long they pick it up, like
Which is
how long
great.
it takes you. You
Yeah.
know, just like how your staff, or they'll ask your staff.
Because your staff doesn't know who
question-
they are, right?
No, they'll ask your staff questions about the brand and the concept, and if not every staff member
Knows.
talks about the brand and the concept the same way, they'll like that's something that they look at, you know. So it's like they'll
Damn.
ask the staff questions just to make sure everybody
That's
like
interesting.
everybody gets it, they get the concept, they get what's happening here,
Yeah.
and you know, and everybody, you know. So that's just like those type of things, you know. Leave a drink and time you on how long it takes to clear the drink and stuff like that, you know.
Damn.
Meticulously how things are plated on a plate and how you're using ingredients, you know. Getting the Michelin stars here, it's super tough.
Yeah.
It's super tough, you know.
And I've never worked in a restaurant, but I know that when I worked in an office, I couldn't watch the show The Office because it started to make me like relate certain characters to real people that I used to work with, and it would just make me upset. But is that the same with like The Bear or any other show that has involved with, like,
I mean,
cooking, like,
some
you know?
some of the episodes give me PTSD.
Yeah, like, 'cause they're
Like you
so
like
high
it's
energy.
real,
Dude,
like
when
that.
when the thing won't stop printing out stuff and you're already stressed out and you're just watching it
Oh,
go,
me, like we were on like the edge
of
of our bed, like just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
dude,
you know, it's like,
dude,
this is
that
like-
yeah, dude, when it was like they forgot or they left the online orders on
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
just-
whole scene was just like it was so perfect, like a
Yeah.
filmmaking aspect.
Like anytime
So
they yell
stressful.
refire, and you're just like, oh god, something.
I mean, the intensity is like that, and like, you know, we've been able to build. Obviously, I'm not shooting for a Michelin. I mean, not obviously, because some
You're
people say-
shooting-
I'm
yeah.
not shooting for a Michelin star.
You're
Like,
doing the
my-
best you-
You know, I'm not shooting for it by any means, but like I take the system seriously. You know, and I know ticket times like I want my staff to know ticket times and like you know how long a ticket is that your food's taking.
Yeah.
You know, and you know my
So
staff.
obviously you want it to take some time. You know, one of them they'll be like, well, they're cooking my food back
Yeah,
there. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
then you don't want a 45-minute ticket time or whatever.
45 minutes. That's great. I wish people were more generous with it.
Yeah.
It's like 20 minutes goes by and they're like, "Where's my food?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I mean, hey, it's 20, you know, 15, 20 minutes we try to aim for. But,
authentic Italian restaurant. What do you want from me?
I sat in line at Dutch Bros for 30 minutes to get my coffee.
Honestly,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
thought
So
you
it's like,
might
what the heck,
I thought you might be from Italy or something. I feel like the way you talk almost feels like you have an accent sometimes, and maybe it's. I think
it's
maybe
just a name.
Your
It's just a
name.
name.
Yeah.
It's
I would say
GianCarlo.
it's GianCarlo.
That brings me. NPR was just talking about this morning when I was driving in here
Yeah,
about
it
was about names and how like there's just they were saying how a scientific research study just came up. Pull it up. No, I'm just kidding.
It might be here.
About like you know you start to look more like your name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe
and then
that
it's an
has to do
Italian
with-
restaurant
Yeah,
that you
maybe that has to
like
do with
run. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
I mean, Boston, I guess sometimes.
go.
I mean, I grew up with my dad. My dad was a
so
single father, so I was like,
and maybe
you know,
it's that.
Maybe it's
I
that.
think
East
it's that a
Coast
little
type of-
bit.
yeah.
But then like when you're at a restaurant and you're like,
It's not the first time I've heard that.
And one of my
either, so.
podcasts, I'm like, it was when the chick was telling us about Bella when we used to be the sponsor. I was like, oh man, I love GianCarlo. He's always like, I was like doing an Italian accent. So I was like, is everything okay? Like that was like my thought process. That I'm like, I think he has an accent.
The fingers come out the womb like this first.
Yeah. I have GianCarlo on the podcast. He's from Italy.
Italian boy.
That's good.
Oh, he's from San Francisco. What the hell we're gonna talk about? Just kidding.
That's good, dude.
No, that's helpful. What is this right here? You might.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
So this is what an amandine. I've never heard that. Ands typically look like this.
Oh, really?
This.
Yeah, your face goes towards, you know, I don't know. It was a segment.
I have a face that everyone be like, oh, I saw somebody that looked just like you. Everyone always says that to me. And I'm like, I just think I just have one of those faces that.
I don't know. I keep looking at your face and I'm like, man, you look kind of like me. Like the way your mouth moves when you laugh, I was like,
I can see
that's
that.
how I laugh too. I'm like, oh
I
shit.
Honestly, right now I'm looking at you guys.
Dude, I've been looking over. I was like, what the fuck?
I think maybe from the mouth down, if it was the same color of hair, same color of facial hair, I think it would be pretty hard to tell you guys apart.
I almost wore my beige shirt too, and I put it back, and I was like, I'll just go with white. Shit.
You too, kind of. What is this one that we're drinking? Sorry, I didn't even ask about it. I just was.
That
almost
is
done with it.
the Sir William, so it's gonna be blackberries.
Serena Williams. I'm sorry. We're big tennis fans. Also, sorry, Sarah Williams.
Sir William.
Sir Williams.
Sir William.
And who is Sir Williams?
I'm Sir William.
Oh, there we go. Who's whoever you want him to be.
Yeah. Sometimes it's Billy, sometimes it's William.
Yeah.
Depends on like
Your mood.
Yeah.
You'll catch me at the right time.
William is my legal name.
Yeah, I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But fresh blackberries, some simple syrup, lemon juice, a little bit of mint, and 2 ounces of scotch.
Oh, really? It's super smooth for
Yeah.
being Scotch.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
trying to bring scotch out.
Yeah.
You know, nobody really puts it like. Definitely here, nobody's really using it in cocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a cocktail tasting event. This
Yeah, well,
past
so
Tuesday.
thank you for
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you guys. You guys do a couple different things that aren't just restaurant stuff. It's like classes and different things like that.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
What exactly are they? Yeah.
I mean, we try to do fun stuff, not only for us because. I mean, we want to do fun. You know, we want to enjoy work and not, doing the service day in and day out. So doing fun things. You know, he was doing cocktail classes for the school for Merced College, who had their
cool.
hospitality program. That was more when we were offering like bartending classes. It was more like a structured class
to learn
get behind the bar. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And
Not the online next.
Yeah,
next.
right.
Good. I got my license, you
Yeah.
guys.
yeah, so giving people that opportunity, and then he had his great idea. It was like, what if rather than doing it that way, we did a cocktail tasting. We basically,
Because it's kind of like a date thing you could do, or just
Yeah.
like a fun thing with your friends.
Yeah,
Versus,
yeah. we did a pizza class too. Chef,
Yeah, that's
Chef
right.
Valerie, she's our head chef, and Valerie Basso, and she had a pizza making class, and we had about 17 people attend that, where she, she walked them through the dough process, and everybody got to make their own pizza, which is cool, And so with this one, it gave people the opportunity to try stuff you normally wouldn't. I mean, you just you don't normally drink scotch. You'd never order that cocktail, But now you get to try it, and it's like, oh my god, it's delicious. I'm gonna go order that next time I go in, or all kinds of different spirits. I've never had Aperol and Campari before, but this cocktail is beautiful, So it's like give people that kind of opportunity, right?
Because people, I mean, when you're going out to spend your money, you want to spend it on someone that you for sure think you're gonna like, right? And I'm guilty of it too when I go out, just kind of sticking to the same things.
Yeah, it's just safe. Let me get a beer because I know it's gonna taste like or whatever.
Right.
And then you're afraid to, in the sense of like, but no, it's really good because like, when you do see like a $14, $15 drink, you're like, I want it to be good. Because sometimes when you do get an experience where you could buy like a $15 drink and then you don't like it that much, you're like, god damn, like what the hell? Like you can't tell anything. And maybe it's not made right. Maybe you know what I mean. But you don't know because it's your first time having it. You're like,
or it's not for you. I mean,
exactly.
And that's totally fine as well. But if you're spending, like you said, $15, you're not going to experiment really.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're in that mood, sometimes I will, but typically, if you drink tequila, you're going to go towards a tequila cocktail. So,
exactly.
This was cool because it gave people like an opportunity to drink stuff that they normally wouldn't, and hopefully they come back and enjoy what he's been able to put together.
And so it was like a little just tasting with all your guys' different ones, or how does it work? Like, how did your little class?
We did. For the tasting, we did 12 different cocktails in like groups of 3. When we do the cocktail classes, I'll usually do 2 cocktails, and then whoever's there they'll get a chance to come behind the bar and actually make the cocktails. But it's usually like not cocktails from our menu, so they'll be classic cocktails.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I've done lemon drops, old fashions, French 75s.
Things that every bar, for those people who every bar's gonna have, most bars gonna have.
Most bartenders should know how to make them.
People ask, and lemon drop is
For sure. But the tasting went cool. The tasting was very cool. Like, it's like you said, getting people to try different spirits that they normally wouldn't taste, and having the selection that we do of all to whether it's Amaros or liqueurs, or I think our tequila section is probably the best selection till you maybe get to Fresno. Even if they're it's awesome.
But tequila, it's crazy because tequilas are like everyone knows what let's say Jose Cuervo tastes like, or that type of stuff, like when you're I guess when I was younger, what I would drink, you know what I mean? But when you taste a good tequila that doesn't have the I feel like there's a big difference between tequila that has a strong ass bite to it when you're I need a lime or else I'm gonna fucking throw up, versus the ones that are you're wow, that was, because when the tequila's smooth, a lot of people almost aren't used to tasting a smooth tequila.
For sure.
Right. No, I mean, a lot of the main brand stuff, they don't. An agave plant takes 25 years to mature, and you make tequila from. So it's how can you mass produce something that obviously takes a while to mature?
So you find shortcuts, basically.
You find shortcuts, and you add in sweeteners, and it's not 100% agave, and so when you taste a tequila, it's mass produced. It's tends to be a little there's the sweetness to it that doesn't really quite feel natural in a sense. And so when you taste a tequila that is made from 100% blue agave or 100% agave, and the folks behind it and the hands behind it are sticking to traditions. Words.
Words are hard.
What the fuck?
No, but I mean, this guy could dive deep into it too. But it's just you appreciate good quality shit.
And what is it with tequila? Has to be made in a certain place in Mexico? Or no, am I crazy? So it's not like France?
Or is that just champagne?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that
something...
it has to be from Jalisco, but
look it up. Duffy.
Oh, is it Jalisco where tequila is from?
I mean, agaves grow naturally throughout Mexico, and so mezcals are also made from the agave plant. It's just a smokier style of tequila, and the different way it's made. It's just made differently, But nonetheless,
5 authorized states in Mexico: Jalisco, oh gosh, Guanajuato,
Michoacán,
Michoacán, Nayarit. And
see, your accent's coming out, man.
Now you're GianCarlo.
Oh, my wife and her family are from Guadalajara, so.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah.
They're from there?
Yeah. She was
Your wife was born over there?
She was born out there, yeah.
And then she came to San Francisco with her family? Or how
They
did you
live in
guys
San
meet?
Jose.
San Jose?
We met in the restaurant.
Oh, in the restaurant?
Yeah.
With Michael? Or what's his name? Was that
Michael
his name?
Mina. Yeah, it was just, yeah, for sure. I mean,
Was
we
Michael
got to
Mina,
open
though?
a restaurant, so he was around, but he has so many restaurants. He was never like, there wasn't like his only restaurant.
Yeah.
He has like, 30 plus all over the world. So,
Damn.
so he's bouncing around all these
imagine
places,
that.
You get good, you put good people in place.
Yeah. You know how to,
really
like,
good managers.
yeah.
It was great. But I met her working there.
Oh.
Yeah. She walked
by?
No.
Where's the story?
I was standing there, and with a colleague of mine, we were serving some tables, and she walked by, and I literally nudged him, and I said, "Hey, that's the kind of girl I would marry."
Really?
No shit. He's the only one that can vouch for me.
Yeah.
In that situation, even she sometimes doesn't believe me, but.
Like, no, I loved you before I loved you.
Run that story, dude.
Yeah.
Just run it.
I mean, and then it was like 2 years of me like putting stuff in her ear,
And you're just like the coworker at the time,
Yeah,
right?
it was the
You know what I
coworker, yeah.
mean?
She had a
And,
boyfriend.
like,
She had a boyfriend. I was respectful of that.
classic.
But it was,
You're just waiting for your opportune moment.
Yeah, it was just like, your hair,
Oh.
your hair looks nice today.
You guys fighting
thanks,
again?
Yeah.
Never let a boyfriend.
He doesn't
stop you from finding your
appreciate you.
Yeah,
Never let a
exactly.
boyfriend.
Yeah, right. Jeez, that needs to be on a.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Never let your girlfriend's
Love you,
boyfriend.
babe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like you never let your girlfriend's boyfriend be in the way of your wife.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's funny.
And what's her name again?
Anaid.
Anai?
Yeah, Anaid. Yeah.
That's one of the names. I used to be a substitute teacher, and I would be like, and I would just say it wrong every time. Like Sit Lolly, it's like with an X in the front of it, and every
Okay.
time I'm like, your name starts with an X. Say here if your name starts with an X.
For
And
sure.
I didn't know how to say it.
We sometimes have a hard time
Sophie or
introducing
something?
ourselves.
Yeah.
It's funny. We sometimes have a hard time introducing ourselves. I mean, not a hard time, but it's just those. What? GianCarlo?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay, here we gotta go through.
We're
the song
Juan
again.
Carlo
But I
and
get it.
Annalise.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. For the extra white people that come in.
For sure.
There's gotta be these people where you're like GianCarlo. You're like, they're like Juan Carlo. You're like, yeah, GianCarlo. And
Yeah.
you're like, all right, yeah.
We'll just make
It's
it
like people
happen.
call me Mika. They think it's like some Hispanic people
Yeah.
because it's Micah is Mika.
For sure.
When I had Irvin on the podcast, he called me Mika like 10 times. I was like, hey, I don't know how many times I can keep correcting you, but it's Micah.
Trying to be polite over here.
But you're fucking on my show, man.
I am Mika now.
Yeah. It's like, hola.
Yeah.
¿Cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? Oh, no, that's good. That's good. And then other than like, the restaurant business, what do you guys like to do? Like in your spare time in the area, going places? Who's GianCarlo without Bella Luna?
Yeah, no, I mean, love movies. So,
Can I have a little bit more of a drink? Is that possible?
Yeah,
Is
for
it,
sure. We got, yeah.
Is it the same drink? Different
This is
drink?
a different drink.
Oh.
That might be something new coming up.
Just experimenting with it?
Yeah, so it's a
Before you answer, let's
it's a white peach tea, lemon juice, a little bit of gin in there. And but the white peach tea though is delicious.
Is the tea like really fun to play with? Where you're
It has been. When I went to New Orleans last week, and then when we came back, we stopped at a place called Rainbow in San Francisco. That's like a co-op, so you can just like measure out stuff in a bag. And so I got to I grabbed like 7 different types of tea. So
really?
We'll definitely be experimenting on some cool shit.
Experience the spirit of the Sierra Nevadas with Tioga Sequoia Brewing, where each beer is a tribute to craftsmanship and conservation. Rooted in love for the region and its communities, their brews capture the essence of the Sierra Nevadas and the Central Valley. Whether you're in the heart of the 209 or bustling streets of the 559, come visit them in downtown Merced or the Beer Garden District in Fresno. And don't forget to check out each location for their awesome events like the block parties. You can find their beers at your local stores like Save Mart, Safeway, Vaughn's, Rayleigh's, Walmart, Sprouts, and Costco. Join them in raising a glass for exceptional beer and the natural wonders of our beloved Sierra Nevadas. Step into a world where every sip tells a story, every gathering is a toast, and every moment is cherished. Welcome to HiFi Wine, where passion for wine, community, and family intertwine to create an unforgettable experience. From private events that spark connection to weekly tastings led by industry experts, HiFi Wine is more than just a wine shop. It's a celebration of life's simple pleasures. Joining the HiFi at-home family means embarking on a delectable journey through exclusive wine selections delivered right to your doorstep. Discover them at 629 West Main Street, next door to El Capitan Hotel. And let's raise a glass for life's extraordinary moments. Start your day off right at American Grind Coffee, where the enticing aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the promise of a delicious breakfast await you each morning. Nestled in Modesto at 4742 McHenry Avenue, they are the perfect meeting spot to catch up with an old friend or meet a colleague for lunch. When lunchtime rolls around, they've got you covered with their gourmet sandwiches, hearty salads, and daily specials, all crafted with the freshest local ingredients. And the best part about American Grind Coffee is that they also cater events. Come experience the perfect blend of great food, friendly service, and unforgettable coffee at American Grind Coffee today. At Sign Guys, they take care of all your sign needs. No job is too big or too small. Just give them a call. As the Central Valley's premier full-service sign company, they are there for the customers. Whether it's a banner of an upcoming event, temporary signage, vehicle graphics, or an illuminated sign for a building, customers can rely on them. They specialize in window graphics, door graphics, and metal signs of all sizes. Need an electric sign? Well, hey, no problem. They also offer full-service repairs on all signs, ensuring customers need not to worry if their sign is on the blink. They sign their work with pride and attention to detail, committed for their long haul. With over 30 years of combined sign experience, customers can trust them. Don't hesitate to call now at 209-726-0984. Once again, that's 209-726-0984.
Yeah, he went to it's like the biggest cocktail event in a bar event in the United States, like Tales of a Cocktail. It's huge in the industry. It's held in New Orleans. It's a week long, and professionals from all over the world.
That's awesome.
Come
it's
to
like a
New
giant
Orleans.
convention, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Like brands are showing off their products. Bartenders from all over the world, owners, managers.
Well, just the fact that you guys are doing that stuff and going out there and having those experiences already, like, I mean, it's just like you're like in it. I don't know how to describe it other than that, but like you're like, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, you got to be amongst your people.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, when you go to those events, just talking to so many different people, right?
Yeah, and there's so much, you know what I mean? You're taking in so much. You're trying to have good conversations and also like learn at the same time, because there's a lot. Like, they take over 3 floors at the Ritz-Carlton, so there's like there's seminars in some rooms, there's cocktail tasting rooms, there's a bar I think upstairs that they usually like. This year I didn't go to it, but last year they like flew people in from Singapore to come and like work the bar, which was like super cool.
Damn, so just like the most minuscule detail. I mean, I'm sure, like, you know, I mean, everything for that is just like, damn.
But very cool. Like, you come back and like you feel invigorated. Plus, like, New Orleans is just a really lively place.
Yeah.
You know, like in the hospitality, like Southern hospitality is real. Like, I don't want to say that in California we're not nice, but it's definitely
different.
It's a different level of like, yes ma'am, no sir.
What do you do? What do you want, hon?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
Like, they
know,
make
but
you
it's
feel
really
at home. You know.
Yeah,
And
really like
it's
family
nice.
oriented. If it makes it feel like what you want, baby, like that type of stuff. You know what I mean? It feels like
genuine too.
Yeah, you know
Like,
exactly
I'm
where it's
acting,
not
you
like
know? Yeah, it's great.
And they like, howdy, y'all. And then, like, say, sometimes you do say hi. It's like when you say hi to people and you're walking and they don't say hi, you're like, what the fuck, dude? And it's funny because maybe my wife used to not be like one of those people that would say hi to people, I feel like. And then since we've had a baby, like whenever we're walking, she always says good morning to people. I'm like, what happened to you? Like, you used to like not be that type of person.
That's cute though.
You want to care about the world.
Yes.
What did I ask you prior to that? I asked you something that was like...
Just ask me who I am.
Oh, yeah, no, what else do you like to do besides...
Who am I? I mean, I like to golf. You know, sometimes.
Oh, really?
We'll go, yeah, I like to
We
golf.
went golfing yesterday. I shot horribly.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Great. You had a good time though.
Yeah,
say that's
well,
about
it was him with him, Marcus, and then
sweet.
JR, which is one of Marcus's friends.
Yeah,
John.
no, sweet.
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah,
I mean, it was a big golf community out here. People love to golf. You know,
Rancho's prices are in half compared to what they used to be.
$40.
It was $40
With a cart.
with a cart on, and it used to be like $70 in the weekend.
Oh wow. Okay.
And my brother works out at Rancho.
Yeah, really.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. New owners, right? Recently.
Yeah. And
so,
it's gonna be for the better. For
oh
sure, I
yeah.
think,
For
like-
I mean, they already got new
sure.
carts.
Yeah,
so-
new carts. That's like clutch out
Dude,
there,
but
right?
it's classic Rancho of leaving it's just a sticker, but they left the other name of it's like a different club that's like on the cards though.
Oh, yeah,
but I'm like, that's just classic Rancho, dude. Like to be like,
It's like the
least
links.
of our fucking worries. We gotta get this golf course green, you guys.
For sure. Gotta get these water pumps going.
Oh my God, yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, there's, you know, there's that. You know, biking. You know, is cool. Like to do some like to go biking.
Like biking,
you know.
or just like bike trails? Biking?
No, just like
Yeah, you're not-
casual
you're-
biking.
you're
you
not
know.
the-
I'm not in spandex. With
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
with
Going
my
on
visors.
Highway 140 and then
no,
yeah.
for sure.
Every time I go to like some Bay Area town, my buddy lives in Redwood City, and like he lives at the top of the mountain, but there's always like bikers going up the mountain. Every time I'm like, I'm gonna freaking like they get first off they get pissed off at you if you pass them, which like I totally do get, but also like you're choosing this to be your hobby with 50-mile-an-hour cars. Like I don't know what to tell you.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's why they probably go in groups for safety.
Yeah. It sucks for us if we hit a whole bunch of them at once. That's true. Insurance wise. My friend group really talks shit about bikers. I don't know why, but they're not a fan of them.
We've been driving out to Snelling sometimes.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm saying, man. Like 140 is like 55 miles an hour, but it's really 65 miles an hour. You know what I mean? And it's scary for me as in a car driving past you guys. So I can only imagine how it feels for a biker when I'm passing you.
on a turn.
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah, you're more the Merced bike path type trails.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. Me too. I can get behind that type of bike.
Or in like neighborhoods and stuff. You know? Me and my wife used to do a lot of like walking throughout neighborhoods in the city, just because there's so many neighborhoods you walk. You know, you get a good little workout, I guess, in a sense. But just walking, But I mean, with the weather here, it's tough, and so biking is nice.
This summer's been rough.
Yeah,
I mean, you're already feeling this room, dude. This room's getting hot right now. You guys feel that, dude? This AC is like from the 80s, I think, or maybe 90s if we're being generous. But it's been hit by a car already.
It's been in multiple accidents.
Yeah, when we got it, and then they're like, "Yeah, if something goes wrong." They're like, "If something goes wrong, it's on a commercial property," which I don't understand with commercial property when they're like, "Yeah, basically, if anything goes wrong, it's on you." I'm like, "But you own this building."
I only take care of your roof.
Yeah. It's like literally ceiling's the only thing, and then the first year we had it, the AC went out. And like the guy like
tough,
came in and then looked at it, and he was like, "I'm gonna be real. Like you guys should probably just get a new one." And we're like, "Yeah, we know, but like it's under us, so he could fix it. Let us know." And then like he was like back here for like 2 hours, and then he was like, "Well, we'll test it, and I'll let you guys know like if it's even worth it." And he's like, "You're not gonna believe this. This thing." He says it runs great, but it only runs great,
In one room.
Yeah, in that room right there. This used to have no walls, but then they build walls, and this used to have a window and stuff. But
How long you been in this place?
since 2021,
Almost 3 years, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
So we got it, and when we got it, there was carpet everywhere, like 70s green carpet underneath the toilet was all carpet as well. And so then we had our buddy Tanner, shout out to you, who does construction. He helped put in this whole floor in for free, and we just bought the supplies and everything.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
That's cozy.
Yeah, we made it like our home basically. This used to be like the editing area, and then the podcast was in the small room. But then we'd have 4 people podcast.
It was tight in there. Yeah.
Like these chairs would not fit in there. Like none of this would fit in there together. We had like just foldable chairs, and then like we'd like have basically someone in the back, someone kind of in the front, someone in the back, someone in the kind of front. So like you're staggered like in there,
Yeah.
all like awkward and shit. But then we flip flop the rooms, and now we've been here for a while. I mean, we would love a place a little more downtown though, like above like Destino's or like somewhere like that would be ideal, but. Also, we're not in a rush. Seems like a lot. I just moved my house too. And I was like talking to other real estate agents about moving the studio, and I'm like, let's just hold off because I'm overwhelmed with my house, you guys.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's a constant project.
Yeah.
Always something to do.
Exactly. And then so Marcus is the one who helped you buy a house here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marcus Rodriguez. It seems like your podcast sponsorship is paying off. I'm just kidding.
That's great.
And how did you meet Marcus?
Great.
Just through going to Bella Luna, him?
Yeah,
or what?
it was little Bella Luna. I got to meet so many people, just being at Bella Luna, right? But also I was like a mutual buddy at golfing. Too, it was like a mutual buddy was like invited me to go golfing.
Who was it? Art? Who was it?
Art was there, but no, it was another gentleman.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. He's not in town anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
It was actually golf with them too, and that's how we met. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You pick up gardening yet? Being a new homeowner?
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
why? So my old house.
Also another hobby.
I didn't buy a home.
Yeah.
So let's just, I didn't. Not doing that well.
It'll come. You know?
It'll come. But we moved basically we moved across the street from my parents' house because there was a house. We lived in a 2-story house, and I had a fat ass garden this year though. Like I love gardening, and so we had like hella I had like 5 tomato plants, a zucchini plant, hella pepper plants. But then it just was unfortunate because right as harvest was coming, like we were moving, and like. The house is gonna be vacant
tough.
for like a month, but we're moving out of. So like I just was like I gotta kill. Like I'm gonna kill it myself. You know what I mean? Like so I did like one last but it was like right before all the tomatoes were gonna start coming and stuff too. So I'm like
Spend all that time.
Yeah.
And that's time consuming. You know, I mean, that's a hobby within itself. It's a job technically within.
But it really makes you slow down. That's what I like about gardening.
sure,
it's like
for
it just
sure.
is like. I like people like do like the automatic water pumps. I like just having to do it myself every day because it's just like it makes you go for like 20 minutes. You got to go out there and just like water it,
And it's
especially
soothing.
when it's 115 degrees. It's like you can't skip days. Where other summers when if it was like 90, if it was 99,
Oh, yeah, you can't
105,
skip
it's
days,
not too bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no shot.
Yeah, you like do you garden at all or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, that's something that you know, multiple times a day, waking up in the morning. It's like leisure. It's like a leisure. It's a leisure activity.
It gets you to kind of get your day going slowly, basically.
Yeah, no, totally. Like you said, it grounds you. But that's not something and I've never had a yard before. This is the first house I've ever lived in. You know.
Oh,
I grew
really?
up in apartments. You know, so it's like.
Oh, especially in San Francisco.
Yeah, for sure. My dad was a property manager, so he managed apartment buildings. So we kind of bounced around.
Yeah.
Whichever one gave us the better apartments.
Yeah.
You
At
know,
the time,
the better pay for him. You know, so it was like having a yard for the first time was just like. I'm still like in that honeymoon stage, you know, about you know walking out to my yard.
Oh, you've had
and
it for
seeing,
how
like-
long? How long?
It's been a year.
2022?
It's been a year.
Just 1 year.
Yeah, it's been a year. You know, just one thing at a time with the restaurant. But you know, yeah, shout out Marcus. We love our home, so you know, appreciate it.
There you go, Marcus. There's so many name drops on this podcast. I know you don't think the sponsorship is worth it, but it's worth it.
And to Robert Jelina too, lender man. You know,
Exactly.
You know, everybody knows everybody. You know, it's like,
And that's like a little different, right? Than like San Francisco coming from like a
And I love it,
huge
you know?
city. Is
Yeah,
that like
yeah.
a little more like you like? Oh, this person knows this person knows this person.
No,
knows
for
this
sure.
person.
I mean, I
Yeah.
talk about it too at the restaurant all the time. You know, with people who ask me this, you know, the question about the differences. You know, it's like San Francisco or any big city, right? You find your community, right? Whether you're a cyclist, right? You have your cyclist community, you know, or you know your bar community,
Or you're a driver.
Or right. Yeah. There's like all these different niches of communities.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, 'cause
within
there's like
it, yeah.
millions of people in this place, you
yeah.
know. And so, you know, coming out here to like, you know, slower pace of lifestyle, I also really liked. That was
for
something that was,
sure.
you know, a change for me. But then also like everybody's community, you know. So you go to the grocery store, you run into people, you know. You go here and it's like everybody's community, you know.
Oh yeah, if you
and
go to
it's-
Rayleigh's, you're gonna see somebody you know. If you go
yeah.
to like certain places, I'm like, that's just
For
somebody.
sure.
I was in Lowe's this morning, and there's some random lady. I'm walking past a random lady. She's like, go record a podcast or something. That's what she told me. And I was like, okay.
I am, lady. I'm doing it.
No, I was like, I literally am about to. Yeah. But it's like, also, I don't know who that lady was.
Yeah,
I
no.
was like, cool.
Yeah, I seen you on the gram.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, yesterday when we were golfing, two high school kids were like, "Hey." We're like, "What's up?" And they're like, "You guys the podcast guys?" And we're like, "Oh yeah." And I looked when they came to shake our hands, they gave us their first and last name. They're like, "I'm John Waltman" or something. I don't know what they like. And then the other kid was like, "Oh, like first and last name," and I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you guys."
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I forget because I'm like, "Oh, I was like, oh, you guys in high school?" And they're like, "Yeah, we go to Buhack," and I'm like, "Oh, like we're sirs to them," you know what I mean? Like we're adults.
Right,
you know, I always
right.
forget
You're paying
that.
respect.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nice to meet you, sir. And I'm
Yeah.
like, thank you for the support, man.
Sure.
He was like, I thought I was the only one that knew about the little bump. That's what the little kid said. I was like, no.
That's cool though. I mean, that's awesome,
it was
you know?
all no,
It's
that little
cool,
thing,
you know?
dude. It's kind of cool. My wife gets a little not annoyed, but it's always like because like a dude will come up to me and be like, "Oh man, I love your podcast,"
Yeah.
and I just fucking ignore my wife every time. So I'm just like talking to this person, and she's like, "He's not that cool." Like, she's always like,
whatever.
He's not as cool as you people think he is. Okay.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
No, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
And that's part of the community too. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know,
No, exactly.
there's so
It's
much
cool to
noise
be-
in like big cities that sometimes, you know, like you know, it's just how you,
It's easier to be a bigger fish in a little pond than
in a sense, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
In a
Just
sense, you know,
somewhat,
yeah, for sure.
somewhat. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
No, it's great.
And then, so how can people support you guys? I'm obviously going to Bella Luna, right?
Come eat and drink with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, you know, just it's just that, you know. I mean, if you just come by, grab a drink, or you know, something to eat, to get something to go. I mean, obviously that's the biggest support, you know.
And you could just call in to go? Is that the only way to order to
yeah,
go?
on our website we have a widget that you can go to that's
you can order to go?
Orders directly with us.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, for sure. Just like
Screw you, DoorDash.
Yeah.
You're like, honestly, just be overwhelming if we had to do that too. That's really what it is.
I mean, DoorDash takes 30% off the top.
Oh
so,
yeah.
You know,
so do you guys have to like, if you want to make your money, or do they just charge the customer at 30% more? Basically?
No, they take it from us.
Really?
I get it because it's in the sense it's like we're on their platform
and they're using they're delivering and everything.
Yeah,
else.
I mean they do all they figure it all out. But I mean 30%'s crazy.
A lot.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So, I mean, you know, they take that right away. You know.
Yeah, where
and,
if you
and,
could
and,
do that.
and you can't even up your prices on DoorDash to like mitigate that.
Oh really?
They do their research and stuff too. So it's like if I'm selling a pizza for $21 on a menu,
and you go to like
DoorDash
27,
like 24 or something like that. You know, but then it's also gouging the person who's purchasing it.
Yeah, because they're gonna pay more for the same price.
Yeah,
if they would've
exactly.
just ordered
So you know,
it.
just like order on the phone or on my website and come pick up. I mean, any restaurant. You know, I try to stay off on DoorDash just because I know the same thing. You know, with restaurants. You know, there are ways around it too. I mean, we could always have our own delivery program or systems, but then I have to get the driver's insured.
Yeah,
you know,
there's so many moving parts with everything in life that it's just like, dude,
for sure.
This is working right now. We're gonna roll with it.
No, yeah, I mean, you know, the DoorDash is, you know, I mean, you see why we use it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that order from DoorDash, and you know.
But every time I personally order from
DoorDash,
DoorDash, though, I always feel like a lazy piece of shit. Like every single time, I'm like, yeah, like, and then it gets delivered to me, and then I'm like, I paid like, yeah, you're saying 30% more for like McDonald's or some like bullshit. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, I feel bad. I couldn't even go and drive and get this thing. Like, you know what I mean? You know? It's one thing if you're drunk, but if you're just fucking having fun. And then, so you're gonna have more like pizza making classes, cocktail events, stuff like that coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
And is that kind of relatively new with you guys? Like,
we try to have like events every so often. You know,
you guys did something like outside in the morning time one time, didn't you guys do like a workout thingy? Or am I crazy?
No.
I swear the I thought Irvin and them DJ'd something.
Yeah. I think that was
the Maker's Market.
It was.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What was that exactly?
That was Earthworks across the street.
Okay, gotcha.
The new clay place.
The new clay place, right?
Yeah. She's a good friend of me and my wife. My wife and
Bree,
her.
right?
Yeah, Bree. Yeah. She lived with us in San Francisco. We had a
Oh,
bunch of us.
really?
Yeah.
So she like follow you guys? Not follow you. Sorry, you know what I mean?
No,
you inspire her to come this way, I guess. You know what I mean?
Great way to put it. Yeah, for sure. It was, you know, she was living with us.
Wow, that's crazy.
We made the move. She was, you know, she has a lot of restaurant experience too, you know, and like teaching experience and clay experience or whatnot. And we were just kind of like hyping up our like how much we love being out here, you know. And she was kind of in this transition, and we were like, I mean, while you're figuring your transition situation, we have a room out here if you want
to come stay
rent free. You know what I'm saying? Like
figure it out.
She also has a lot of restaurant experience, so she was an asset at Bella Luna. She worked there for. She worked there as like, you know, like, hey, you know, it's like, you know, you can work and have a place to stay until you figure out the next move.
That's cool, dude. Cause I had no idea that like you guys were like not related, but like, you know what I mean, knew each other. Or
yeah, her and my wife met. They were both working in a restaurant in San Francisco together, and that's how they met, you know. And then I mean, and she was working. That's how they, you know, got together, and that, you know, they, you know, she was working with us, and they clicked and bonded, you know. And then the clay space just kind of was something that just kind of came about. We're silent partners with her.
Okay, gotcha.
It's her thing, you know, but you know, we collaborated on it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna have some dishes and stuff they make or anything at Bella Luna? No?
I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah,
She's doing copitas for this bar Cavagna in San Francisco.
Oh, cool.
Dope.
And then you still have a whole bunch of
spot.
connections over there too, right?
Yeah,
just from
for
your
sure.
time putting in stuff over there.
No, absolutely. One of my Italian mentors is still out in San Jose, and I learned a lot from this guy Antonio. You know, shout out to Antonio. You know, I worked. Yeah, he was like, yeah, that's
like that.
Yeah, for sure. Fresh off the boat, like Italian.
Well, because my last name is okay. Apparently, my last name is German if you look it up. But my family's been telling me that it's Italian my whole life, so it's Diele. But I always go, it's a pasta rigatoni Diele, like that. That's what I always tell people. That's how we were said to announce it. But when you look it up, it means in German it means fucking hallway. What a cool ass name that is. But Like I was like, what the fuck, hallway? Like we couldn't think of anything that was a little cooler than like a daily meaning.
That's funny.
Oh my bad.
No, it's all good.
Carries intriguing.
Quarter, hallway, and plank.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's just a really cool. Fucking. I mean, they say deal.
Nice.
And then, how about for you, Billy? How can people support the bar? Just come in, have a drink.
Yeah, come in, have a drink, shoot the shit. It's one of my favorite. I mean, I love showing people new things and just like I'm saying, bonding over a good drink can definitely change both of our moods. You know.
No, it's damn. His hospitality is unmatched. You know, it's like if you're a regular, he knows what you're drinking. He's got that drink made as soon as you walk through the door. You know, it's like you know, you don't even have to say anything. He just puts the drink right in front of you.
Yeah,
you know?
I gotcha.
But it's a great place to just come in. You know, you don't even necessarily have to buy anything. You know, just come in.
It's just a great
say
hang.
Hi. Yeah, say hi. You know, you get to bond with him up at the bar, or you know, the other ladies at the bar, Paola and Sabrina, or you know, grab some bread. You know, I don't know. You know, it's just like
It's a great place.
Yeah.
I love your guys' bread with the oil and vinegar. It's my fucking shit, dude.
Yes.
I love it. Well, gentlemen, thank you guys for coming on. I
Yeah,
truly
for sure.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us, man.
GianCarlo. Here we go. Bill, so we can do it. All right, Duffy, you reach over. Shake their hands, Duffy. Duffy shaking Duffy's hand. All right. Thank you, guys.
Shout out Duffy. Shout out Michael.
This is it. Central Valley Podcast.
Hey, big shout out Central Valley Podcast.
You know I had to fuck with it. Hey, shout out Central Valley Podcast.